It's New Year's Eve, and we want to welcome all of you friends to our channel, Nanny and the Moose. We're just doing some cooking today, and this evening is our traditional romantic fondue dinner for two. We do this every New Year's Eve, and Matthew is out right now buying our provisions for the meal. We use, 4 cups of Swiss cheese, a cup of Gruyere cheese, some white wine, some cornstarch, some Kirsch wine, and we stir it all together in a fondue pot. I've cut up some French bread, or I will be cutting it up, and you dip it in and you sit in front of the fireplace. I'll do a little taping later for you. So I made a soup just now, and a turkey soup with the leftover turkey that Mikey sent home with us. And we're going to have that for the next couple of days. So no cooking for me for a couple of days. We do leave all our decorations and our tree and everything up until the Epiphany, which is on January 6th. It's also Mikey's birthday. And usually the day or two after that, we'll take it down. So we still have some more Christmas decorations to look forward to. So I hope you all had a nice Christmas holiday and several days after. We hope you'll enjoy this little video that we'll put together and probably put it up tomorrow or maybe the next day. I know a lot of you people are saying, I wish you did more videos, and I wish we did too. And that's hopefully one of our New Year's resolutions. So enjoy our little bit of cooking turkey soup, our lounging around the day today, and tonight enjoy our romantic fondue for supper. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. We did hear that perhaps tonight at 9 o'clock or around that time on TV, the little commercial that we were part of, a YouTube commercial that was made several weeks ago, is going to be on TV. It's the ABC TV channel. And I think it's Dick Clark's prime time back in New York, when it will be midnight in New York. So watch for, well, it's going to be over by the time. But anyway, let us know if you see us on there. A little quickie. We're in there with 40 or 50 other YouTube creators. So I hope you enjoy our little video. Happy New Year to everyone, and we'll see you soon. A soup. I'll be making a lot of soups during this California winter. It does get a little chilly. It's been rainy and cold, and so I love making my soups. They're a wonderful supper. They're healthy. Now this is the making of a turkey soup. It's the Irish Trinity. It's a lot of celery, a lot of onion. I use this white sweet, and carrots. A lot of carrots in there. I started braising them in the same pot, and now I've got about half a quart or a full quart of leftover low sodium chicken broth, which I put in there. So they're softening. The carrots and celery and onions are softening. Now, the only other ingredients I'll be needing is Mikey sent us home with leftover turkey, which have a lot of white meat and dark meat under there. There's a lot of dark meat there. So I'll throw all that in, cut up the white meat, and I will use some egg noodles, the curly egg noodles, wide, and I will only throw in, 10 minutes before we'll be serving the soup, about a third of this package. I don't want to load it up too much. Besides, the second day, the noodles are too floppy and flimsy. I will make some Bisquick biscuits, the drop biscuits, which I think are wonderful with everything. And they only take about 8 minutes to cook. And maybe I'll throw in some cabbage. I'm not sure about that yet. It seems like it might be a pretty dense soup right now. So it's so easy. I'm sure you all know. Here's my low sodium chicken broth. And I probably will use the whole carton of that because this soup will last us maybe 2 or 3 days. Love it. So later on, our traditional New Year's Eve supper. Here's my combination of carrots, celery, softening up. There we go. A little more of the broth, because it's going to be a big soup. And we do want to have a cup fairly soon. I flavored the soup with some basil, quite a bit, garlic powder, and some nice ground pepper. And the smell is filling the house. Almost time to have a cup. Tonight, Moose and I are celebrating our traditional New Year's Eve supper. It's always cheese fondue. 1 year ago at this time, we did a video where we actually cooked in the kitchen. Moose stirred the fondue, which is cheese mixed with wine and a kirsch wine. Okay, dipper in. 2 dippers. Cheers. Now the tradition, oops, I'm about ready to lose mine.
That means you have to
Cheers.
Kiss me.
Right, I have to kiss you. That's the tradition. Watch our romantic fondue from last year. We did the whole thing. We showed you how to make it in the kitchen. We came in and had it in here in front of the fire. Oh, I'm gonna pop that whole thing in. Look at this fire. Isn't that wonderful? Candlelight. Couldn't be better in any restaurant in the world, right, Moose? Gonna dip. Oh, this is so yummy. Dripping with Gruyere cheese and Swiss cheese and what's the name of that?
Kirschwasser.
Kirschwasser.
Kirsch.
White wine.
It's cherry water. I don't know. German.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, lover.
Now, what accompanies this meal are potato chips to give it a crunch. We put a little bit of potato chips here. Crunchy crunch. Our table is so teeny tiny in front of our fireplace this year that we have to put everything up here. And also, apple slices. Apple slices go with this. It gives it a nice cooling when your mouth gets a little overheated.
Right.
And this is the meal. Now do watch our video from last New Year's, 1 year ago. Go back and find it. It's called Romantic Fondue New Year's Supper, something like that, Romantic Fondue. And we show you how to make it in the kitchen with Moosey stirring and joking as usual. We had a bigger table, so it was prettier. The fire was going. And that's that. I'm going in, Moose. I've been waiting for this all year. Do you like my new jammy? Just perfect. Into the mouth it goes. You want some crust on each piece. And then you cut it up into bite-sized pieces, but this is pretty big. And they always have a piece of the crust on them. So I've got some all ready to go, I gathered.
The thing you have to remember is Swiss people, when they make this, stir it constantly, and they stir it as a figure in a figure eight, like this. See what I'm doing? Figure eight. It's not hard, is it? Now, if you're from France, you do a backwards figure eight. You do it the other way.
Okay, here's your last cup.
French people think it tastes better that way.
Now the ingredients are Swiss cheese and Gruyere cheese, which is a French cheese, and we use sort of half and half. I'm sure the French would use all Gruyere, but the Swiss works, it's really expensive also. So that's why we also use the Swiss cheese.
I didn't used to have to say I love you. I could just look in your eyes. And you'd be saying I love you, and I'd be saying I love you.
Why don't you tell the tradition, the fun tradition?
The tradition is that if you drop your bread in there, if it gets all soggy with cheese, and you drop it, then you have to kiss the person sitting to your right.
How are we going to do this? Look at that. Can you
We don't have
see?
enough people at this point.
Happy New Year, friends. We hope that 2021 is a good year for all of us. Cheers. There's nothing wrong with quarantining and isolation, is there, Moose? Moosey likes a few potato chips with it. I prefer the apple slices. Isn't that funny? And Moosey likes red apples, and I like green ones. You know, this is a supper that is so easy, and why we only have it once a year, I don't know. All I did was grate 5 cups of Swiss cheese and 4 cups of Swiss cheese and 1 cup of Gruyere cheese, which is a Swiss, yeah, a Swiss cheese. Oh, cut up French bread. Moosey does the stirring in a figure 8. Delish. Decadent, but delish, right, Moose?
I don't feel decadent.
Well, the bread and the cheese.
And by the way, the cheese is melted in white wine.
That's true, so
So,
kills any carbs or fats, right?
is that true?
For me?
You fell in and you didn't.
Now we're using Matthew's new Spurtle.
It's perfect. It's got a
Matthew-
round edge. What's it called? A fertile?
A Spurtle.
Fertile.
Matthew and Cindy. Cindy saw it on YouTube or Amazon and bought us a set of Spurtles. And they're beautifully carved with nice woods utensils. One is a slotted spoon
It's
and
got
one
a
is
rounded edge that goes right along there.
right. And the idea is that they can better clean the edges of a pot or stir. Thank you, Cindy. I like the crunch of the apple. Now, do you see any fireworks out there? Have the fireworks begun?
No.
I don't hear them. I heard a little
Well, it's
bit a
only
little
8
while
o'clock.
ago. Oh, that's true.
Well,
So we'll be in bed
it's
before
midnight in
midnight.
Times Square. I wonder what they're doing.
Oh yeah, we have to watch the ball to see if everyone behaves themselves. Matthew made a beautiful fire for us before he left. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We're so lucky to live here in this tiny little place. I know when we moved in, I missed our big house so much, but it's just so good for us, and near all the children and family. Still have the same ambiance, the hills and the views. Beautiful.
The hills are alive with the sound
Hello. Oh, we're almost out of bread.
Yep.
Luckily, I have a spare few already chopped. We're starting to scrape the bottom, Moose.
Yep.
Those are the best parts at the bottom. It doesn't get crusty. It's still, actually, this has stayed great. Moose has done a good job of watching the heat. Now this pot is an electric pot, but I have found the old original copper pots in the past years. One we brought home from Switzerland. I think that was a Christmas present from you one year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
About 40 years ago. And but that was so hard to get the cheese out. I know it would stay in the sink. Matthew says he remembers the children all did the dishes in those days, and he remembers that sink sitting there for a week.
Lincoln's birthday.
The pot, yeah. Trying to get the cheese out of the bottom. But this is self-cleaning.
It's Teflon.
Get yourself a fondue pot. It's a fun supper. I like the wine. Matthew bought all our supplies today for this. He's a gem, isn't he? Spends so much time doing stuff for us.
He loves doing it because he knows that we're keeping us from getting the disease.
Yep. Great fire burning.
Yep.
And candlelight romantic supper. Way out in the distance I see fireworks. It's only 10:30, but I wanted to get some of the fireworks. There is a beautiful moon. See all those lights out there? That's the early fireworks. Especially the red ones popping up here and there. But Lucy and I will be in bed when all this breaks loose. Well, Happy New Year to all of you. Let's hope that 2021 is a wonderful year of hope and gratitude and peace. I'm sure it will be. It'll be a year, hopefully, of recovery for everyone. Spiritual recovery, emotional, health-wise, financial. Let's hope it's a great one. Well, about 9 o'clock, we just about finished and we were cleaning up and Moose put the TV on. And before we knew it, we had 2 or 3 Facebook notices, a telephone call from Mikey. Nanny, we saw you and Moose on television. Well, I'm going to include a few of the clips or pictures that they took from the TV. YouTube did a commercial about 6 weeks ago, and we were asked to be in it, believe it or not. We were very honored. It was, what do you call, a non-paying commercial, and we enjoyed doing it. They just took a little clip from one of our videos, and it was a long time ago where I was cutting Moosey's hair in the driveway. It was sort of at the beginning of the pandemic. And the producer was telling me that they do this at the end of every year, sort of as a wind-up for the year. And this year was special. It was a year of stress. It was a hard year for a lot of people, very hard in all ways. And it was supposed to be an uplifting commercial. Well, lo and behold, the commercial was on TV on channel ABC. Right, Moose? Was it ABC?
Yeah, it was their show of New York's Christmas Eve.
Right. I think it
wall
was
coming
Dick
down.
Clark's prime time
Yeah.
9 o'clock show, which was 9 o'clock here in California and midnight back east with the ball dropping. And 3 minutes before midnight, didn't they show this commercial? What if the sky should fall? Just as long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all. I think we could try that again, don't you? And I wonder how many of you saw it too. If several of our relatives and a few friends saw it, maybe everybody else saw it, but we were only on it for like 1.5 to 2 seconds. But it was fun. So here's to you, Moose, here's to us. Happy New Year to everyone, 2021. Thank you all for watching. We love you all. Please subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. We'd love it if you join our family. Goodbye for now. God bless us all in the new year. Today is New Year's Day, and I've laid out a little smorgasbord of a few things for Bill and I. And also, Micah and Colleen will come down for their good luck herring on New Year's Day. Now, here we have some pickled herring. This happens to be with onions and other spices and sour cream. I put some on the crackers. We also have some cheese and different kinds of crackers. And Moose and I are having our eggnog as well. The beautiful cutting board or charcuterie board made lovingly by our granddaughter's boyfriend. He is such a great woodworker, and I just want you to see this up close. It has all sorts of inlaid woods. Beautiful, beautiful. And it was a lovely Christmas present to Moose and I, so we're very proud of that. Now, this tradition of eating herring on the stroke of midnight as we enter the new year is a Scandinavian tradition. And the skins of herring are silver, and silver is laced with prosperity and good fortune, good luck in the new year. The reason we eat it, and some of our grandchildren and our sons will stop by today for their taste of herring. They're not always wild about it, but they eat it because Moosie's grandma, who was from Germany, always did this too, which is why we do it. So thank you, Kevin and Tessie. This is beautiful. We will treasure the gift made lovingly by you, Kevin. So Moosie, I'm going to give you your eggnog now.